Oh my god, I'm Kermit the Frog's evil twin. What up, you fluffy bastards? My name is Liquid Blitz, and today we're going to take a look at some of the upcoming changes. There are some major gameplay changes about to drop. Changes are a-coming. A storm is coming. Now, keep in mind that all the changes I'm about to discuss in this video are currently being tested in the community test environment, so just keep that in mind, that these updates are fairly likely to change before they're released to the main game. So take everything with a pinch of salt. Anyway, let's get on with the changes. The biggest change is coming to the grenade system and how they resupply. Now, just before I tell you how they resupply, it's important to know that the gas, smoke, and mini grenades, the ammo's been reduced to 1, down from 2. So there's going to be much less grenade spam, which is awesome. And unfortunately for me, since I love it, there's going to be a lot less smoke coverage too. 1 smoke grenade down from 2 is a big hit to me because I love smoke grenades. Now, the biggie. Grenades now resupply automatically on timers. You no longer get grenades from ammo pouches or crates. The timers are different for each grenade type, and here they are on the screen. Boo! Keep in mind, as I said at the beginning of this, that none of these timers specifically are set in stone. That they can always change. They're being tested as we speak. Frag and stick, light anti-tank, impact, and incendiary grenades are all on a 36-second timer. Gas is on a 27 seconds, mini is on 24 seconds, and smoke, thank God, is the least with 18 seconds. And I'm happy because I love me some smoke! Now, fear not, it's not as simple as that. Resupply is 3 times faster when you're stood next to an ammo crate. So pouches and crates, they don't give you grenades, but the crate actually speeds up the timer. But pouch doesn't. Pouch is now completely irrelevant to grenades. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that is a big buff to the ammo crate. I usually went with pouches because I prefer to sort of throw them out to people while on the move. But now that only the crate helps to resupply the grenade faster, it's making me think twice, to be honest, about using the crate over the pouch. So yeah, if you were just panicking then thinking 36 seconds is ages, it's 12 seconds next to an ammo crate, 3 times faster. Now this timer system should, and the whole point of it, is to help reduce grenade spam, which is becoming a serious problem in certain choke points on certain maps. Now, a lot of people love this new change, but a lot of people hate it, boy. Personally, I'm not that bothered either way. I'm not that bothered because it didn't really affect my personal playstyle that much, but I do recognise that there were certain choke points on some maps where it was just an endless stream of grenades. As I said, the worst thing about this to me is the loss of the second smoke grenade, which helped me in so many situations. It helps everyone in so many situations, like getting close to vehicles or covering yourself as a medic so you can get close to teammates to revive them. You still can, but you only have the 1 grenade. I mean, they have officially stated they are trying to increase the effectiveness of the smoke grenade, so hopefully that'll balance it out of the fact that you only get 1 now. Now, these resupply times you can see on the screen, out of everything I discuss in this video, they are the thing that are most likely to change, because they're currently recording all the relevant data and testing and so on, and the whole aim is to balance out the grenades as best they can, and I doubt they've got everything right in one go, so those times are likely to change. Now, the next change to mention is the sort of time before explosions for a couple of grenades. The impact grenade, the time before it explodes, has been increased from 0.7 seconds to 1 second. Doesn't sound like much, but it is a big deal. And the incendiary grenade from 0.67 seconds to 1.3 seconds. Now, that is a big increase. It's only a small amount of time increase for both, I mean, when you think about it. But in my opinion, that makes the impact grenade especially more useless than it was before. I know that a lot of people like the impact grenade, but its greatest strength was pretty much the fact that it exploded pretty much instantly. But now it's got a full second before it explodes, and considering it does, I think 72 damage maximum now after the previous winter update. It used to be 80 damage, but now it does 72. I'm starting to think that other grenades may be a better option. As for the incendiary grenade's increased time, I mean, 1.3 seconds is a lot, but it doesn't matter as much because the lingering effect of the fire, it still blocks enemy movement, so the fire is still very useful. Oh yeah, speaking of damage, the mini grenade's damage has been increased from 65 to 72. So the mini grenade now does as much damage as the impact grenade. But as I just mentioned previously, you only get 1 of them now. So between these two, between mini and impact, you've got to decide if you prefer a more accurate sort of long throw, or an almost instant, but just nerfed and made even longer, time before explosion. Faster boom boom, or more accurate throw. It sure is a toughie. Now, the next change. They have decreased the inner blast radius for the light anti-tank grenade and the regular assault anti-tank grenade. Both of them have been reduced from 2 meters to 1.5. Now this means that the total radius is still the same, but the smaller sort of max damage radius has been reduced. Now this isn't as much of a problem for vehicles because they usually explode on impact, but it makes them slightly weaker against infantry, and I've got to say, I sort of agree with that. I was personally using the AT grenade on the assault class against infantry as though it was a regular grenade, as well as vehicles. And to me, it always felt like it was just as powerful as frag and stick grenades. They could kill a full health infantry in one. So I actually think this was a good move because they aren't meant for infantry. I've thought for a while that the assault class is too powerful, and this is a logical way to slightly sort of lessen their power. And I love logic. Now, on to the next change, and this is a big one. This is probably the biggest deal for a lot of people out there, and I've copied this word for word from the official list of changes. They have reduced the suppression effect by friendly gas and prevented coughing at low levels of gas suppression. This means that when you are in the thickest sort of middle area of the gas, right in the middle, you have less suppression overall from your teammates' gas grenades. And the second part, coughing at low levels, that means that when you're on sort of the outer edges of the gas where it's a bit thinner, the suppression effect you get ends earlier the further away from the center of the gas you are. Does that make sense? So less suppression overall and a lower suppression radius from teammates' gas. I know a lot of people hate gas grenades for the specific reason that teammates spam sort of like flags and objectives all the time. Well, this change seriously alleviates some of that annoyance. And remember, you only get one gas grenade now, so much less spam, people. Much less spam. Be happy. Now, moving on from grenades. I've talked enough about grenades. The first non-grenade change that is massive. This is huge. The anti-air cannons. First of all, this isn't a big thing, but they no longer sort of push you. You know, if you're in a plane and you get shot by an anti-air cannon, your plane sort of gets pushed and jolted and rotated a bit. That no longer happens. So your plane no longer moves about when you get shot. And secondly, and this is the big deal, AA cannons now do 50% less damage to fighter and attack planes and 40% less damage to bomber planes. Now that is a massive nerf to AA cannons against planes. I mean, there were already people flying around getting like 50 kills to 1 death in a plane. Yes, it takes a lot of skill to be able to properly evade the AA cannons and kill them from a distance and all that sort of thing. But all this does now is ensure that they stay alive. The highly skilled pilots pretty much never die now. They can only die to other planes because that is a massive nerf. 50% less, 50 and 40% less damage. That is insane. That is going to be increased again because that's stupid. Don't get me wrong, especially like fighter planes, they were like tissue paper versus the AA cannons. But I mean, that's part of the skill. Knowing the placement of the AA cannons and sort of avoiding them, or keeping your distance, or always targeting the AA cannon first when you move into an area. I mean, so for all the highly skilled pilots, they're never gonna die now. The only thing that's gonna kill them are other planes. Anyway, enough ranting about that. That's a massive deal. I mean, I've got a feeling people are going to be pretty damn angry about that change. Now, as we speak in the community test environment, there are a hell of a lot of gun changes across the board. Nearly every weapon has had something changed, like horizontal recoil or vertical recoil or spread reduction, etc. There are way too many changes to go into in this video, as it'll be like 40 minutes long. If you want to see the full list of sort of changes, I've put a link in the description to the latest community test environment patch notes on Simthic.com. Now, by the way, Simthic.com is where I get most of my stats and information for Battlefield, so go check that website out. The only changes I'll mention are, first of all, self-loading rifles, aka medic rifles, are being buffed pretty much across the board with reduced spread per shot, and that goes double for marksman, optical, and sniper variants, which have even more reduced spread when firing and a higher spread decrease after firing. So win-win for people who like to play medic class a lot. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail with specific weapons because there are too many to mention, but I will mention a couple of the most popular weapons. Number 1, the Regal has been nerfed. Calm down, just hear the information first. Don't rage and cry. Its horizontal recoil has been increased slightly. Overheating the weapon now cancels aim down sight, so you come down off your sight. And its moving hipfire accuracy has been worsened slightly. Not a good day for Regal fans. Don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. Now, the next change to mention is along the same lines. All LMG's hipfire accuracy has been reduced by the same amount as the Hellriegel. I think it's been the dispersion has been increased by 0.25%. I think, something like that. Now, the next couple of weapons to be affected, or the next one weapon to be affected, affects me personally because it affects one of my super classes and makes it worse. The Automatico Trench and Storm have been nerfed. No! But the Automatico Factory has been buffed. The vertical recoil for all three variants of the Automatico has been reduced slightly, and that's a good thing. But the horizontal recoil for all three has been increased greatly, and the first shot's recoil has been increased quite a lot for the Trench and Storm, but reduced for the Factory version. And to buff the Factory version further, its recoil decrease has actually been improved significantly. I won't lie, I've never used the Automatico Factory. In fact, I don't think I've even unlocked it, because I never saw the point. The Trench and Storm pretty much covered all bases as far as I'm concerned. But with these changes, the Factory will definitely be worth a try now. Now, as I said, there's way too many gun changes to list here. I thought I'd include some of the most popular weapon changes and I'll let you look at the rest yourself. The link is in the description, the first link. Now, before I leave you for somebody else, I will quickly say the second link in the description is an official post from, I don't even know who, but it's an official post where they discuss the reasoning behind all the sort of grenade changes. And they also outline sort of future changes that they want to sort of tackle. For example, and this is a big deal, in the future at some point they want to create a proper gas AoE system, area of effect system, where it spreads sort of realistically, so no more sort of bullshit damaging people through solid walls. They've acknowledged this is a major problem, and they've actually said in the post that I've linked, the second link, they've actually said that they could stop this right now, but it would be a very flawed system in that things like small rocks and pillars would actually block the gas as well, and it would just be basically a broken mess. They just don't have the mechanics in place for it to work properly. So somewhere down the line, hopefully they're going to create an actual system for gas spreading realistically. They also, and this because I'm a big fan of smoke grenades, this is a big deal for me personally, they also hope at some point to fix the inconsistency with spotting enemies through smoke, which has been a problem since launch. Smoke has been very inconsistent since launch, so yeah. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. I mean, as I say, check out the two links in the description for far more information than I've given you. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there before this video overruns to like 2 hours long. Like this video if you liked it, like this video if you didn't like it, and join me in my next video. The next video is a superclass video, guaranteed, because I'm already halfway through creating it, and it uses a bolt-action weapon, but it's not a long-range sniper. It's a fun run-and-gun close-range scout class. It's fun as balls, but it takes serious, genuine skill to use it properly. So join me then.